A very strange depiction. What can it mean? Ah, I'm sure that represents the Black Mirror. The death's head is symbolic of death. 7 people, all a little different. Could they perhaps represent different societal groups from their time back then? 3 people are lying down, 4 are standing. In the middle, there's an altar chiseled in. I don't know all the symbols, but they seem to be describing something. At least it looks like they've been divided into 7 groups. Perhaps each of the symbol sequences describes one of the people on the upper half. We're definitely not in the catacombs anymore. This looks more like an alchemy laboratory.
I've been here before.
Mordred?
No, as a child. I've got a kind of faint memory of it.
Have a look around. Perhaps it'll come back to you more strongly.
Yeah. That's it. That's the hole that Angelina fell into as a child. I climbed in after her, but it's blocked up now. No wonder I couldn't find it up on the surface.
And how did you two get back out of there? Through the catacombs?
No. Bates. Oh, it was him. He got us out and then filled in the hole. But before that, we were at the portal. We were standing right in front of it. It's behind this door.
Had Angelina opened it?
I'm not sure anymore. Whoa, a real witch's kitchen. Mordred would definitely have ended up being burned at the stake sooner or later. A lectern? What kind of a book is that? Homunculus pater omnis thelesmi totius? Ugh, no idea. All in Latin.
The book is open at the homunculus chapter. Is that a coincidence, or was Mordred busy creating an artificial life? Strange. Interesting stonemasonry. The faces are supported by hands. A stove. The shaft once led outside, so there was a shortcut then. That's not ordinary soil. Looks like there is tar mixed in with it. Somebody wanted to be sure. A really fine alchemy laboratory. There's virtually everything there that they used to use back then. But I doubt that Mordred was interested in creating gold. The flasks point rather more to him being a blender of poisons. A considerable sword collection. Mordred must have been quite a weapons appassionato.
These are the best blades in the land, forged by the most skillful of smiths. Much too good for those butchers that my brother calls soldiers.
Adrian, you're scaring me. Please, put that away.
And yet, they're nothing compared to my sword.
Adrian, stop it!
Huh? What?
It's all right. Everything's okay. Just put the sword down and then everything will be fine. From now on, we'll have to watch out you don't pick up a sword again, okay? You're not going to go near a sword again, Adrian. Do you understand? We don't want you having an accident or anything, do we?
Okay, Sister Valentina. Is there a reason you're talking to me like some kind of wacko?
None. Apart from the fact that you look like one and are behaving like one. Your eyes have turned black again, and you're fiddling about with a sword, and you're speaking like Mordred. Now then, please do us both a favor and keep your fingers away from sharp-edged weapons.
Prima materia, planet metals, basilisk. Welcome to Discworld. So, how did Angelina just get in that time?
They must have the Tabula Smardina here, the fundamental text for alchemy. Icco. Here it is. The Smardina tablet, the alchemist's Bible. But I'd better not touch the book. It would fall apart at the smallest touch. Like nearly everything here.
Valentina.
Yes.
Have you got any idea what all this machinery and stuff down here is for?
That's a perfectly equipped alchemy laboratory. Mordred was a man of science.
He's certainly not going to be able to help me with my physics studies. Alchemists were only bothered about creating gold.
That's not correct. There were definitely alchemists who worked on other things too.
Oh yeah, opening demon gates. I'd forgotten.
They also tried to concoct healing potions, or the opposites, poisons.
They were definitely more successful at the latter. Are you gonna let me take a look at your dagger?
What? No, definitely not.
I think I know how to open the door. It's quite simple.
All right then. I hope you know what you're doing. What are you doing there?
There was a door in the academy. It could only be opened with the blood of a Gordon. My blood. When I wanted to help Angelina as a child back then, I cut myself. That's why I was able to open the door.
Gordon blood. One further reason why only you can be the Guardian. Let me go first.
Why?
I don't know what might happen when Mordred sees his beloved mirror again. Think about that thing with the swords.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
What does it mean? Is that Mordred? Or is that me? And why do I have the urge to touch the mirror?
No, it's Mordred who wants to make you do that. Don't touch the mirror, ever!
Okay.
The reflection shows your soul, and the part of Mordred that's within you.
Mordred? But why does he look like one of these shades?
Mordred's soul is still trapped behind the mirror. What you have in you is the shade of Mordred's soul. We somehow got to send Mordred's soul back into the Black Mirror, and do that without setting it free.
Okay. But how then? Haven't we just had an exorcism that went all wrong?
No, not an exorcism. We need something else. Are you sure there's nothing in Mordred's book you've overlooked?
Yeah, absolutely. I can show it to you if you want. These pages. There's some writing appearing. That must be Mordred's notes. But how come there's something there all of a sudden?
The mirror must have activated it, maybe?
If you believe my ancestors, it's possible that the soul leaves the mirror if the shade is already bound in this world. A reunion of soul and shade would constitute an unimaginable power potential. The soul belonging to the powerful and feared by all King Armundor is exactly the right one for my son to be made into, and what he would have become if my brother had not blah blah. The guy definitely would have benefited from a few sessions with Dr. Winterbottom. But hold it. There's something else here. Everything is prepared. Armundor's bones lie upon the altar. His shade will soon be bound to them. Nothing more stands in the way of the crossing over of his soul. Now all that has to happen is for the boy to be freed from the yoke of his contaminated soul. Soul transfer. Mordred's soul shade in me. Yes, of course. That's his plan. He's lured me here so that his ritual can be completed, and his soul can cross over into my body. That's exactly what the curse has been for.
Only Mordred hadn't reckoned with his soul shade landing in a Guardian's body. That's the only reason you've held out for so long.
But that doesn't help us all that much. If we release this shade that's inside me, Mordred's soul will then enter me.
Shh, Adrian. I think I got an idea. Let me think about it for a minute. Adrian's reflection is a mix of his own soul and Mordred's soul shade. I don't have any better way of describing it. There's absolutely no way Adrian's soul can be allowed to lose the struggle against Mordred's shade. But What is on the other side? Only Mordred's soul? Or has Adrian got one of those soul shades as well? Adrian, can you read me this section about the shades from the Book of the Guardians, please?
The ancients' graves are watched over by their shades. Their fate has been thus for thousands of years now, with no end ever envisaged. They were born in death, and it is death they wish to spread. The ancients forced them into our world. Thus, they don't belong here. They can be neither caught nor appeased. However, the light from the green flame unsettles them. It drives them into the darkness. One should not come too close to them there. Their power is old, very old.
A shade is created in every case when somebody dies. But not in this world, but behind the mirror. I know from the Vatican files that there were human sacrifices here in order to see if their souls were good or evil. The same sort of idea as witch burning. Mordred wrote that a soul could leave the mirror if its shade was already bound here, which is exactly the case here now. So, if Adrian were to die here, then Mordred would win. Adrian's soul would have been freed from eternity, and his body would take on Mordred's soul. But we have to get Mordred's soul shade out of Adrian one way or another. We absolutely have to make sure Mordred's actual soul can't leave the mirror. And Adrian's soul has to stay where it is.
Sounds right?
I don't know who or what they're supposed to represent. They're really imposing. There's nothing to discuss.
I'm able to see in my mind everything that happened on this altar. Having Mordred in your head eclipses any horror film. And I don't feel any revulsion. None at all. If Valentina doesn't come up with something soon, he's won. No, I have to pull myself together, or else all of our efforts are gonna be in vain. Huh, there's a loose note at the last page. The ancients' graves are watched over by their shades. Their fate has been thus. That's what it is then. The Black Mirror, the Shade Portal. There's such an extraordinary attraction coming from it. I've got a persistent urge to look into it. I wouldn't know what I might ask her.
Adrian, have another look in Mordred's book. Maybe there's more there now.
I did not want him to die. I wanted to save him from his wretched fate. I wanted to make him my son again. My son, no bastard from the loins of my cursed brother. I have kept to the ritual exactly. Everything has worked well, only I was unable to bring a beat back to his heart. I tried everything, all in vain. From now on, I am quite alone. There is no one whom I can initiate. Marcus has taken everything from me, and now I shall take everything from him. I must make haste. My sword. First, I have to conclude the experiment with it. It appears that I have created a shade for it. That could mean that I can use it on the other side. If I succeed in crossing to the other side without dying, then I will rule both sides. Strange as the black stain on the blade, since its contact with the other side, the black is spreading inexorably. Rituals, experiments with a sword. What the hell was Mordred doing here?
It sounds like he was trying out an ancient druidic soul transfer ritual on his own son.
A soul transfer? He simply murdered him.
Does it give the procedure for the ritual in the book by any chance?
No.